job done. There's been blips on the radar with some of those guys, especially with Tong. I was actually at the game where DeGrom returned back to Citi Field, and it was kind of rudely interrupted by Tong getting completely blown up in that first inning.
Yeah,
Nevertheless, besides those, like I said, little blips on the radar, the team is kind of finally hitting that kind of stride they really needed to, and especially with the wild card race being as close as it is right now in the NL. I do like where they're moving, and hopefully they can actually take care of business against an NL East opponent, which they've certainly had trouble with in the past.
No questions about it. And I'll tell you what, the biggest thing for me going into this is how they 100% should have swept this series. I mean, that game too is haunting me for a while. I mean, this game had it all. I mean, you had Pete Alonso another home run. You had a Manny Machado grand slam for God knows whatever reason, throwing a 3-2 curveball right down the middle to Manny Machado. David Peterson, what on earth are you doing? I don't even know if you were on planet Earth when you made that pitch. And then the 2 home runs, one from Alvarez, one from Soto, and then Soto, who just barely missed a game-tying home run off of
not the first time this season.
Third time that's happened this season.
Yeah, it's too many times.
The unhittable, as I say, unhittable Mason Miller, and then got frozen on a slot at the very next pitch. Next day, though, they made up for it. I can tell you that right now. But do you believe, and the wild card race, by the way, is absolute chaos. The Diamondbacks right now, the biggest threat. The Reds right behind them. The Giants, who have not fallen completely off the rails yet, but are starting to get there because they just can't win a baseball game to save their lives. Robbie, what do you think about this latest stretch of baseball from the Mets?
I mean, it's an interesting run. I mean, you look at the wild card standings. I think you two have addressed this already. It's a 2-game gap. It's going to be a fight to the finish. And that's what everyone's been saying over the past week or so. And that's, as a fan, that's exactly what you want to see. You want it to be competitive right down to the wire.
Just not when your team is on the bubble.
I was going to get to that. But
I had
the team that you mentioned, the run against the Padres, that was a big series, obviously, for the Mets, because one slip up in the Diamondbacks, the Reds, maybe even the Giants, if they can start to rally really late, they could have made it. They're barely holding on, but any of those 3 teams can really go out and make a weird run out of nowhere and steal the final spot. And the team I'm looking at to do that right now is the Cincinnati Reds. They're playing against the Chicago Cubs group this weekend. I'm more confident in that type of a series than the Diamondbacks going up against the Phillies.
What a performance, by the way, last night from Hunter Greene.
Hunter Greene, and I talked about him last year, how good he really is. Yeah. I mean, he throws hard. He's good stuff. He carried me in fantasy in 2024.
Shout out.
Greatest trade of my life, by the way. That's for another episode.
Complete game, 1-hitter. Nearly had a no-hitter last night.
And he was excellent, as they needed him to be in a game that I believe they needed to win. They're now at 77 and 76. Makes that wild card race more competitive. But the Mets, we know their margin of error is slim, especially having them going up against the Nats this weekend. I mean, you got to take at least 2 of 3 again.
No, you have to sweep this series.
The reason I'm saying you take 2 of 3 at minimum, I'm saying 2 of 3 at minimum. It would be perfect. Perfect world they sweep the series. But you know, watching this team, that it ain't going to be.
In Metland, perfect does not exist.
That's exactly where I was going with that. But I'm intrigued, more in the American League race. I mean, there's obviously another 2-team fight to the finish, but the Red Sox and Cleveland?
Wait.
Well, it's the Red Sox, Cleveland, and Seattle.
Wait. Cleveland.
In the AL wildcard.
Still fighting for the division.
What is going on?
And Cleveland's fighting for the division as well. With
do we got to call CPR Detroit? What is happening in the AL Central?
Detroit have lost 7 of 10.
Just got swept by the Guardians.
They did just get swept by the Guardians, which opened up the door for Cleveland as well.
They're 3.5 games back of the Tigers. The Tigers haven't even clinched a playoff spot. Detroit could potentially miss the playoffs.
And what's even crazier about that, look who they're playing this week. Cleveland is going to Minnesota
to play the Twins.
And the Tigers are facing off against the very underperforming, but a team that likes to win in September, unless it's against the Mets.
Yep.
The Atlanta Braves.
And it's good that you mentioned that, because we know very well those guys love to win in September. It's incredible how they do that.
I mean, Guardians, though, have won 7 in a row, and they're a team in form.
Yeah,
Chase. It's going to be an exciting AL wildcard race as well, especially since you look at the AL West, and there's 2 teams that are right there. The Astros
division hasn't
and
been
the
decided
Mariners
yet, and that one too.
I mean, and they've been as hot as the Cleveland Guardians have been. And,
Yes.
you look at the Seattle Mariners, and it's just obviously it's always been like the pitching is just beyond anything, we've seen out of that tandem. Gilbert, Castillo, Kirby, shout out Rye,
Shout out Rye.
just getting the job done. Brian Wu, all of those guys just have so many different skills and being able to work together is such a strong rotation. But the hitting has been,
Yes.
much better than we've ever expected from normal Seattle teams. And obviously, Houston is nowhere near the team that it's previously been and
Not
dominant
even close.
when we get down to playoff time. So it's going to be interesting how that fares out, as all the playoffs fare out throughout those divisions in the American League.
It's intriguing.
I figured we should just this would be the last thing that we discuss because we are running short on time. If the Detroit Tigers, and sorry if I cut you off, if the Detroit Tigers manage to blow this and miss the playoffs, is it worse than the 2007 Mets collapse?
I don't know. I mean, we've seen collapses in the past and how drastic they can be. But
Mhm.
for it to happen to a team like Detroit,
It was a
Who-
13.5 lead, by the way.
my point with this is to happen to Detroit, a division that we all thought they won back in like June, to a team that has rebuilt so well, are young, exciting. That's the team you want to see in the playoffs. They could be winning their first division title since who knows when. I actually don't even know what year it would be at this
It's
point.
been a while. I think 2012, if I'm not mistaken.
But it would also be kind of funny to see a team with a negative run difference win the Central, because that's the most AL Central thing ever. The Cleveland
They're
Guardians have a
minus 23.
minus 23 run
Oh,
difference. It's
jeez.
unbelievable. And what's even funnier is that the Guardians' expected wins right now, they are supposed to be under 500.
It's
They're supposed to be
incredible.
73 and 79. It's a team that doesn't make a lot of sense,
Miraculous.
but they're going to have a go up against a good Minnesota group. And by the way, just something to highlight as we're about to wrap up, Astros Mariners this weekend. So that will be a
Oh,
AL
baby.
West
That's a
will
big
be
decider.
on the line. The Yankees will be playing against the Baltimore Orioles. Mets are going to face the Nationals. It's going to be an exciting weekend of baseball and football, but unfortunately, this is where we say goodbye for now. For JJ Seglio and Chase Caridi, I'm Robbie Basil. Thank you so much for tuning in to the first episode of the Booth Review every Friday from 12 to 1 right here on WIOR Radio. We'll see you guys next week.